Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Thanks, Jab. Hey, Moran, Shark, how are you guys doing? Well, it's good to see the markets are working very nicely. Hey, all right, how are you? Good to see you, brother. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Hey, Travis. Good morning. So let's take a look and see what we're dealing with. So since I've been away, you guys built up some short positions. And welcome to those who are with us on YouTube as well as in our room at the Trading Syndicate. It's good to have you with us. So I'm going to give you guys a little lesson in liquidity because everybody likes to talk about the word liquidity. Okay, so this is true liquidity and you just witnessed it. So the market all morning was trading in the first part of the day, in the first part of the Globex session, it was trading under 59.79 down to 72. Then we had an inventory correction up when we brought some buying in, but then we had to put it back on sale. If you compress the profile, you'll see that there's a good chunk of inventory from yesterday, the day before, and today, right? You see it's wide here. There's a lot of volume, a lot of time. There's something in equity trading. You guys ever heard of the gap and trap? Anyone ever heard of those words, the gap and trap? Okay. There's a reason why that exists. The gap and trap, what it does is it creates liquidity. Now, liquidity is the ability to sell a lot of product that you've been holding on to. And it's your opportunity to get rid of it. What happens is when we took yesterday's high, that little bit of news that came out, now it doesn't matter what the news is, right? The news could be Trump and the chairman are talking. It could be that McDonald's is bringing back the McRib. Whatever they use, what happens is a little bit of buying comes in, and the algos, they shut the sell. And when we take the previous day high, if you look at the volume right at that previous day high on the way up, you'll see that there wasn't a lot. They ran the stops and pushed the market as high as they could, which is in our case 60.16.5, and then they just dumped into it. And that, my friends, is how you sell product. Right? bad lighting and cheap fabric. That's how you move inventory. So if you're inventory long like this and you take a previous day high, that creates buying. Why? Because short sellers rush to cover. And then price chasers chase price up. And when it gets up there, the size traders who are long here plug it. Plug it means hitting every single bid. Now, I used to do this all the time. And it works really nicely before the open. You know why it works really nicely before the open? You guys want to talk about trading psychology, right? Do you know why the gap and trap trade works really nicely before the open? Because all you guys are fresh. You're freshly caffeinated and you're all salivating. Like Pavlov's dog waiting for the bell to ring. Right? You're all sitting there just waiting for that move. So when the move happens, you jump all over it like a fat kid on a chocolate bar. You're all over that thing, right? You're like, what do I do? Right? And you just, and we're like, suckers. And then we hammer you. And that's how you get rid of product. Because this thing wasn't going anywhere. Right? This is a great way to get rid of inventory by getting people to chase. And in the morning, before the open, that's when everyone, all you guys are all sitting there, right? You're all sitting there, and the pretty girl walks into the nightclub, and there's like 30 guys jumping all over her, right? You're all caffeinated. You're waiting for that trade. You've had 13 Red Bulls, right? Got the car battery attached to your tongue. You're ready to go. And that's when we get you, right? That's when you are the most susceptible to getting sucked into bad trades is on moves like that. That's why you guys call that a false breakout, right? We break out of yesterday's range and come right back into it. And quite violently, I might add. Right? You guys call that a false breakout. We call that, now I can afford to get my Bentley fixed. Okay? Because you just, people fall for that all the time. They fall for it all the time because they don't realize it exists. And if you don't understand why something happens, you are going to fall for it over and over and over and over. And we are going to eat you for breakfast every morning. That's why it's not, Wheaties is not the breakfast of champions. It's retail traders who are desperate for a trade. They are the breakfast of champions. So my job is to help you not be food. Okay? That's why you don't fall for moves like that. That's why we have trading setups. That's why we have if-then statements, right? You'll notice when the market started getting frisky and we started to do this, I posted in the room, right? I posted, what did I post here? Getting frisky, be careful, right? So when you see the market doing this, that's not a sign for you to jump in, right? That's a sucker's move. How many suckers can we bring in over 6,000 and then just plug them? Just sell every single contract we have into that buying. Right? That's the business. That's how you get rid of stale inventory. Right? Yeah. Now, if you're a professional trader, if you're trying to think like someone who does this for a living, well, you want to use it for insight into the next trade. So when we get up, like look at this is beautiful distribution. Look how many people they conned into buying over 6,000. That's good, right? And that's how we get you. So the best way to trade a gap and trap, yeah, exactly. That was a nice breakfast for them, right? Now wholesale's nicely cashed up, and they've made their money before the day's even started, right? They took this crappy inventory that they were lugging at 73, 77, 84, 85, and they blasted it out over 6,000. And anybody who bought that, right? Exactly, right? Anybody who bought that just got suckered. Okay? So that's what we want to avoid, right? We really want to avoid that. And that's why we have a trading setup, and that's what we teach in our room. We keep it really, really simple. So how is it tradable afterwards? Well, let's take a look. If you're using the look above and fail, you wait for the big spike to occur, right? Everybody goes for it. There's that 6,004 level. And these are 1-minute candles. So if you can hold yourself off for 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, you can initiate a short when it firmly gets underneath 6,004. And you short this thing, you put your stop here, and you use these levels to cover. Knowing VWAP is going to be some buying, and you're going to find the bid. That's if you're a fast trader, right? If you're not a fast trader, don't worry. You can practice that move and work on it. But when it's really quick like that, it's pretty hard. And a lot of people will be trying to, they'll be trying to short it. They'll miss it on the way down. They'll get caught short here near VWAP, and then it rips back up, right? So if you're unfamiliar with how this works, if today's the first time you've ever heard the words gap and trap, then take some time, rewatch the video. A good thing to do is to replay charts at night. I find that very useful, right? Now let's see if that brings people in. Let's bring in some customers to the store. Because we still got inventory under 59.91. Is that recycled news, Leslie? I don't even watch the news, right? But as soon as I saw the price jumping up and down, I knew some kind of news had happened, right? They've been using it for weeks. Well, you know what? We're supposed to be recycling, right, Leslie? Plastic bottles, plastic bags. We could also recycle the news. It's very environmentally conscious. Hey, Jaden, what's going on? And now we're back to our regular, normal, scheduled programming, which is distribution between 59.93 and 96.95, right? So this is an environmentally conscious market, Leslie. Who says we're not green? We're recycling news, right? We need some buyers over 96, right? So we could, but listen, if I was long 5,000 contracts between 77 and 82, I would happily be selling them at 94, right? I don't need a 96 bid to make money, right? And it's been a wholesale market for most of this morning. Now, it's funny because when I was away I was talking to a compliance officer from an interesting, let's call it interesting. I wasn't going to say large, an interesting Swiss bank. And um, and we were talking about the business and how it just actually never changes. It gets much more efficient, but it actually never changes. Hey, RC, what are the purple, green, navy, and brown lines on your chart on the left? Oh, the zones that you see, the purple, green, and blue, they're cost basis and profit areas. So this morning, if you come and join us at the trading syndicate, we'll show you how to trade. This is very simple. You get a cost basis, right? And then you take that cost basis, and this is 2 times profit, 4 times profit, 8 times profit, and so on. Real simple. You know, like I say, and I'm allowed to say this because I'm from Saskatchewan, it's hillbilly math, right? You buy something for a penny, you sell it for 2. Then you sell it for 4. Real simple. And that's what markets are. We're basically recycling the same product over and over and over and over again, right? So, a little quick plug for the room before we start. So, folks, if you're enjoying this stream and want to keep it free, considering joining our trading syndicate. That's where I trade and teach live all day. You can get direct access to me and all the other pros. We collaborate on trades, and all your questions get answered. With the special discount in the description below, it's about 50 cents a day. It's cheaper than Starbucks, and you won't get indigestion. You can do it month to month, cancel anytime. Plus, you learn how to get fully funded to trade with our friends at Apex Trade Funding. Their discount code is also in the description. Check it out. Adarsha, is that Addie? Hey, man. You know, I was in Edinburgh. I can't remember when it was. Raj will know. For a weekend. Good to see you. Really good to see you. Message me when you have time. Josh, what's up? How are things in Calgary? Weather's nice. That's good. Hey, Jerry. It was for that Edinburgh. You know when you guys have all the military stuff? What do they call it? The tattoo? It was good. It was good. Met some very interesting people while I was away. Anyway, yeah, I was away for a couple of days trying to get stuff sorted in with my health. And I think next week or the week after, I'm going to be having another procedure. So work on that heart arrhythmia. So now we're in distribution, eh, folks? So that's how these levels really help us. We know that our product is priced right now under 59.86. We're selling it between 90 and 95. And right there, around 97 is where the sellers are competing. Hey, Joe, this is called Sierra Chart. But if you come and learn with us, you'll find that it doesn't really matter what platform you're using. Whatever, we'll teach you how to be profitable no matter what you use. All you really need is a simple 1 minute candle. I have TPO on here, which is um, the market profile charts, because I learned how to retail trade on there, and it shows me where the stops are on a half-hour candle. These market profile charts are just a very fancy half-hour candle chart. They give us little bits of information that you can get really quickly as opposed to a candle, so I have it for reference. But I do take all my trades using the 1 minute. And these days, we get some pretty big 1 minute candles, so it tends to work out okay. Now, what I need to do is find out where I put, there it is, the sticker for the open. Okay, downside. Let's talk downside. Just in case we get some liquidation. Oh, cool. Good stuff. You're a friend of Christians. So here's what I'm looking at for the open. I think we're going to try and take this stuff and sell it up here for as long as we can. If we get some liquidation, we're going to come back down and try and test the close of yesterday. This is where it gets interesting. Down here underneath that overnight low, when we got down here, do you notice, if you replay the chart, did you guys notice that when we came under 72, how quickly and violently the bid was that moved right back up? That's because this is where your short positions are. These green boxes. These green boxes are where the short positions are. And those shorts came in quite violently and bought that overnight low. Oh, it's okay, Josh. I mark the boxes every day manually, Horizon. Horizon. What did I think of that oil well? Um, why do I prefer the ES over NASDAQ? It's a thicker market. It's a bit more forgiving. I don't like trading thin markets. Right? I don't need the rush. I'm 57 years old now. So I've traded fast markets. I've traded locked markets. I've traded all kinds of crazy stuff. I like nice and calm, boring. Thick market? Okay. Thick markets mean that there's size on both on the bid and the offer. Right? If you look at the NQ, there's not much on the bid or the offer. What's the maximum contract size? Where are all you dominatrix people who stare at your DOMs aimlessly? Look at the number of contracts at each tick on the NQ versus the ES. So the NQ entices those traders, and I'm not knocking them, right? But the NQ entices the Red Bull trader, right? They like that movement, right? I like to make money in a boring fashion. I don't need excitement, right? If I want excitement, I'll go, I don't know, jump out of an airplane or go wrestle a crocodile, kickbox a kangaroo. I don't know, whatever it is you guys do for excitement, right? None of which I do because I'm an old guy now, right? In the old days, I'd get on a motorcycle and do 150, 160 miles an hour. But I got that out of my system. So I like to make some money, make my daily bread, and then just relax. Right? That's why I like the ES. And I know it pretty well because I've been trading ES since 2012. right? Just nice, simple. I know when it's angry. I know when not to mess with it. I know where my trades are, right? And it's just simple, right? Like when a market's like right now, if we take a look at it right here, there's no trade for me. So I can just relax, right? Right? I like to make money in a boring fashion. You know, the excitement's great when you're young. And we do have people in our room who trade the NQ and they do well at it. But I just prefer a more calm market. The NQ can get a little kooky, right? Say there's six aside, 10 aside, and somebody drops a large order, then the NQ moves. It moves fast. And even the ES, ever since, what did he call that? Judgment Day or whatever the hell he called it? When he went and changed all the macro and then changed it back. When we had that 500-point day in the ES, it was thin. It was really thin, which was very disconcerting. You know? Liberation. I just keep thinking of Terminator, Judgment Day. But that, I mean, if you're trading NQ, right, as as the great Cat Williams would say, listen, if you're trading the NQ and you're making money, then you make your paper, boo boo. Make your paper. But if you're learning how to trade, generally the NQ is going to take you out to the woodshed and give you a good and sound beating. Right? But hey, if you are making money consistently in the NQ, you keep making your paper, boo boo. Just keep making your paper. Right? Everything is algo heaven now, Alexander. Algos are a much cheaper way to run the business. Right? They're fast, they're efficient. You don't have to bail them out of jail at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to put them in rehab. You know, human beings are messy. Right? Tiger Williams, oh my God. That's a name from the past. All right, here we go. We're going to open this puppy up. Let's see what we do. What are we going to do? Oh. Now, I haven't traded in 6 days. I took 2 trades this morning. I took one quick scalp, and then the other one was a scratch. Nice work, Raj. Way to pull your money out. Beautiful. That's the way to do it. Make your money and get it out of your account before you give it all back. Beautiful. All right, so off we go. And they're off. See if that 97 seller is still active. Yep, there they are. Now, if we have customers, we can take this little chunk of volume and go sell it up here, but let's see. Well, price competition at 97, 96, 95. right? Where's the bid? Or as they say in Montreal, où est la bid? 91? No. Somewhere near VWAP? Right through VWAP like a hot knife through butter. Okay? So we don't have a lot of customers coming into the store off the open. So immediately we're marking price down. What was the overnight point? Oh, it was there. Let's see if we can look below and fail 86 half. Ooh, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. A little short at 83. Whoa! Ah! I didn't covered at 80. I'm slow. I'm slow. I was short 83. Bad trade location. When I saw that it couldn't get over VWAP, I started setting up for a short. And I should have been short 84, 85. But I screwed up my execution. I was short 83. And then I didn't have my bids in fast enough. So JJ has still got weekend brain. Yeah, I can imagine. There's that NQ eats a lot of people for lunch. I do agree with that, William. People like the action, right? They love the action. Okay. Nothing to do here. I'm really short biased. I'm saying it out loud. And I went to short 83 and a half and I missed it. Let's see. Now, because my discipline and my execution's not that great, I'm short 83 and a half, covered 81 and 3/4. I'm just going to scalp the micros until I feel I know what I'm doing. We're catching some bids in the 82s. There's still a seller, right? We've taken our sellers. We got sellers just under VWAP. All right. Just give it some time. Yeah, just you know what, RC, or even if you don't have to trade it, you can just kind of sit and watch it, and make your observations, right? Hey, Shark, how you doing? Here's what I'm really interested in. I'm really interested in what are the bids like under 59.71. No big positions for me until I confirm that I'm working. I'm noticing I'm noticing my trades are not as crisp as they should be. Right? My discipline is not still there. So I work on that as we go into the weekend. Disposing of their inventory, DVD. We've been getting rid of inventory. If you look, it's really clear on a TPO chart. As soon as it navigates this close, sort of like a magic level for me would be 59.56, 59.60. We've been distributing inventory acquired under 59.60 over 59.60. And that's basically what's been going on. I'll show you that when I can flip over. Pretty much, Travis. Right? This is what, day 2, day 3 over 59.60. And we're catching bids at 72, right? You notice that, right? Let's see if it bids today 72 the same way. Right? And here's the thing. Do we get down to 72? Can we get down to 72? Right? Or do we not get down to 72 and rotate up? See, the more and more people that we trap short underneath, I don't know, 82, the more bid support we're going to get there. See how see how the candles are getting a little smaller since the open? We're only like 8 minutes in, right? 8, 9 minutes in. Candles are getting a little smaller. It's slowing down. Because everybody's thinking what we're thinking. Everybody's wondering what kind of bids are down there, right? Yeah, I wasn't around. I just got back yesterday. So I looked at the chart. Yeah, I in the morning session, here we go. Here we go. There's the close. Right? Front ran the close. In the morning session, I detailed, and it's on the YouTube channel, exactly why the market did what it did. You can see the short positions, and you can see the short positions from the second as well. So they're really clearly visible on a TPO chart. And that's one of the things I like about market profile is you can really clearly see where shorts are trapped, which tells you where the bids are or where they should be. And if you get down to that area, of course, if you slice through it, it means there's a seller and the short sellers will just bid lower. So we tag the close. Now it's going to get interesting. Come on down. Right? If you're short, you can stay short till 73. There's the overnight low. Now is where it gets good. Do we catch a bid? Let us see. We did. We did catch a bid. Seller at 74. Quite aggressive, too. Let's see if we can hold those 74s. Yep. 74 to 76 worked. But you got to be quick. Let's see if we can do that again. Nope. Wait for it. There we go. Sell into those 76s if you're long in the 74s. Flat. Right? So I was just doing this look below and fail. So 74, stop under 73, and then sell into the 76, 77s. right? The bids were here. We went down and we tested the bids. They were there. Okay. Now we're going to rotate back up, and there should be sellers here at 77, 78. Uh, let's see. Staying above 77 and a half, we'll target 82 and then back up to 86. Well, couldn't take out the 82s just yet. So, folks, we went down here, right? We went one tick underneath the overnight low, right? And then did a look below and fail of yesterday's low. Let's see if we can stay above yesterday's low. We're going to come test it again. So I make this a little bigger. And what I use these colored ranges for is it keeps me from trading in the middle. So I'll only trade at the edge of a zone, like when it looks below 73 and comes back up, or it looks below 77 and comes back up. It keeps me out of this wash here. Keeps me out of this crap. Right? So this chop right now, I have no interest in. Right? Hand's not even anywhere near the mouse. What are they? The box levels based off? Cost basis. Right? Because it's a market, right, Joe? So you buy, you buy a thousand, I don't know, 1,000 deck chairs, right, for the summer. You buy a couple of containers of them or a container of them from China, and you're spending $5 a chair, 1,000 apples, whatever, right? So that tells you how much you paid for your inventory, right? That's the blue box. The green box is where you dispose of it for a profit, 2 times. Purple is 4 times. So it's just cost basis, and then profit, and then, of course, the red are the discount zones. Hey, Christian, how you doing? It's real simple. This way you can keep track of your inventory, because that's all a stock chart or a futures chart. That's all it is just a way to keep track of the acquisition and disposal of inventory. All it is a sales chart. A 1-minute chart tells you how sales are going minute by minute. A 15-minute chart tells you how sales are going every 15 minutes. Hello. There we go. We finally caught a seller. Took out the lower stops. Filled the single prints. See, now we're in the discount. Right? Got to put it on sale. So the next discount zone, which is this gray weird color, right? And people always ask me, what level do you prefer over the other? I'm like, I consider all levels the same until you go and hit them with some order flow. This is good liquidation. This is very healthy, right? And the single prints that we're talking about are these here, right? This is a short position, right? From 59.5 to 63. So it's allowing the people who got short here yesterday when J came down. That's that J low trade. I love that trade. I love buying the J low when the market corrects inventory and the move back up. It's a great trade because you use the people who are short here to push. So today when we came down here, you'll see the shorts coming in here. You'll see some size, right, on the market profile. And then as soon as they see that there's sellers, they're going to back off the bid and try and get it cheaper. Hey, Sadiq, what's up? Hey, Doc, how are you? Sadiq, good to see you. Whole gang's here. That's good. Oh. Now, we found some bids under 64. So remember, if you are doing the look below and fail of 64, sell some at 68, and then have your orders in at 69, 70, 71. So if it does lift over 68 and a half, at least you'll be in line and you can sell. If you can't, then you can get out of the trade and still make a buck. Right? Always have your orders in. That way you're not running around with stops chasing price. Right? So if you were long 65, put your sell orders in, right, on the look below and fail, right? And if you think it's going to get over 68 and a half, put in a 69, put a 69 and a half. And that way, if your offers don't get taken, the market's telling you, right? The market's telling you very clearly that there's no buying for your product, right? See, now if you had your sell orders in, you're getting out at 69, getting out at 70, getting out at 71, right? Your target is 73, and always put your orders where you front run the market. So if you're long, say 64, 65, right, put your sell orders in so you can take advantage of the buying. As the market goes up, it takes you out of your position. There you go. Nice look below and fail of 64. So remember, what was that level we were talking about just a little while ago? 59.60. So where did we come to? 62 and a quarter. Remember how we were talking about 59.60? Or 59 and a half? Stop short. It's good. Market is functioning quite nicely. Oh, it's a long A period. Still have 9 minutes left. All right, now we should rotate back down to 64. I do miss LC. We gotta get that guy to help me. I've got to get a hold of our young technical guy so I can get guests back on here. Looking for 64 on the downside? Nice rotations. And if we accept under 64 and we take out that candle low, look for a test of 60, okay, folks? At least 59 and a half, 60. Hmm. There's 64. Yeah, the VPOC moved down. That's all those shorts that are coming into cover, Sadiq. A little bit of size. Right, once again, long 64, 65, sell a little bit at 68. Put your orders out. Always take advantage of the buyer. Right? If you're long and you see somebody willing to pay you a little bit of money, take it. Right? And once you get more comfortable, of course you can hold trades longer. Nothing wrong with that. But at first get paid, right? See, most traders, they want that big payday. And there's nothing wrong with that. But start with the little paydays. Yeah, a couple of points here, a couple of points. 2 points on 3 minis adds up. 2 points on 3 to 5 minis. You don't have to look for those home run trades. Good stuff, Jaden. Good stuff. Well, let's see if we can get some offers taken at 69. Come on. Not yet. So we got sellers at 68 and a half, 69. They stopped selling at 64. Now let's see if this stability will bring in some new customers. Oh, aggressive seller at 65 now. There we go. Now, under 64, can we take out and fill these single prints? Wait for the next candle. Waiting. Let's see how good. No, right? I was waiting to see if we could get a look above and fail of 64, but not yet. It's not quite there yet. There's the seller. Not aggressive enough yet. Come on. Push. And of course, if it's chopping around a level that you're looking at, just let it chop. Let other people take the risk. That's what I was waiting for. See, I was thinking of entering on this green candle, and I hesitated, and then I talked myself out of taking the trade here. That's the trade I was looking for. So, still got to work on my discipline. See, that's what I was looking for, right? So I screwed that up royally. Now I didn't lose any money, but I got psyched out by that candle, and I didn't apply my setup with discipline. So I missed that short. Okay. Just means you got to work harder. That's all. Right. So we've taken out 60. Right. We're right back here to this cost basis. This is what I'm talking about. So we filled these single prints, and the cost basis I was thinking about was right here. Right at that 59, 56, 60 area, because this is what we did. We took this, and we've been selling it up here, and now we brought it right back down. Right, the true cost basis I think is under 40, down in here. That's where the most of the volume is. Right, so if you're positioned short, and we get accepted, right? If you're a larger trader and you're positioned short, and we get accepted under 59, 55, right? Under 59, 54, you can stay short and look for bids around 40 and then under 40. There you go. And that was the world's longest day period. There Let's try a little look below and fail here. There's sellers at 66. Come back down to 64. If we can hold the 64s, should get some rotation back up to 68. There we go. Still a pain in the ass seller right there at 66. Right? There we go. Out one at 66 quarter. Out the other one at 66 and 3/4. There we go. Just scalping. And I'll just scalp until I feel comfortable with the market again. Probably just scalp today and tomorrow. So we dipped into that 55, 60 area. Couldn't get much lower than that, though. Just playing the rotations. What was our low? 57 and a half. Okay, what's next? Little chop here. And today, let's see. If this low holds, you want to look for that B-shaped profile. It's just liquidation into short covering. And Chris, we'll go over that in our one-on-ones. When you get liquidation from above, if a market holds a level, on market profile, I like to look for a B-shaped profile and see if that holds. It's a bit too early for me to call it out. It's just something that I'm looking for. Something to be aware of. And if you see that B-shaped profile, you don't want to be shorting 59.60. It's only been 2 periods, so it's actually a little early for me to be talking about it. You'll have to forgive me. I still got a little bit of weekend brain going. I think we'll just chop around here for a bit now. Okay, clearing 68 and a half. Look for sellers at 71. There they are. Once we get back into the overnight range, you're looking for 73. Okay, more chop. A little bit more chop. Not quite ready yet. This is the start of that B profile, right? And that's what I was talking about. Start building it. And this is just the accumulation of product that's trapped long above us. Right? So what we're doing is all those people who are long up here. Remember those people who got caught in the gap and trap and then caught long here and caught long here? They're all liquidating. So what we're looking for is we look for that B-shaped profile. So if you go and you can clearly see there's all your inventory, right? And it's liquidating out. They're all selling out. Okay, so what happens is when the bid is found, right? Remember, the cost basis is under 56. So these people are selling, but the large traders who sold them this stuff, they just stop selling when we get down to 56. Right? Look at our low, 57 and a half. So they sit there and they stop selling. The short sellers who are trapped here, they'll come in and buy. And if this works, this will look like the letter B. That's a really bad drawing, sorry. Right? It'll look like the letter B. Right? And that's accumulation. Right? It's a liquidation into accumulating, and it'll grow outwards that way, almost like it was like here. Right? Now, what blows this whole thing is if we get underneath 56, then you can see the next area of interest that I'd be interested in is just probably right here, around 28, because that's where the bulk of the inventory is priced from before the move. Does that make sense? And that's what I was talking about, Chris, with that B profile. It's all about inventory, right? It's all we're here to do. We're just here to move inventory, right? Everything else is just semantics, right? It's just all flowery talk, right? That's the point of a market. The market is to move inventory. Otherwise, there's no point in having a market, right? Disposal of inventory for profit. It's a bit slow now. You guys are quiet too. What's going on out there? What else is going on out there? How's the coin of bitterness this morning? What's going on with you crypto kids? 104. Hmm. Everything's kind of losing a little bit of steam here. That's okay. You're focusing? That's good. There's your BTC levels for you guys. See, Chris, do you see how the point of control is down here? And it's, you can almost think of it as like a rain barrel catching rainwater, right? As it falls, as we catch it here, and later we'll try and take this and sell it up here. But that all depends on whether or not you get that customer traffic coming in. And if you don't get that customer traffic, then we'll break that A low. Huh. We have any big events this week? Just the usual stuff, right? While I was away, was there a news event or something like that that caused the run up from 59.40 all the way up to close to 6,000? Okay. Yeah, then this is just the backfill, right? Right, this movement down. Oh, it's the same news. Okay. That's what Leslie meant. They've been using that news all week. Okay. Let's take a look at the SPY ETF. What's going on there? Okay. Staying above 593.28. Right, you can see the positions underneath 593.28. So if we hold that, you'll get this. If we don't, we'll rotate back down and you'll look for 583. The old NQ. Jeez. You know, it's funny when we got to that 20,500, you know, I was expecting some selling, but we just ripped right through it. Very interesting, these markets lately. Very strange markets. There's the weekly on the ES. This is pretty boring, folks. We keep recycling China tariffs. I guess they're really out of news. I was wondering when they were going to tucker themselves out with this news cycle. Looks like it's kind of happening now. Till they invent some other drama. So, once again, a little advertising for the room, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. You know, if you enjoy our stream and want to help keep it free, consider joining the Trading Syndicate. Also, like and subscribe to our channel. That'll be helpful. The trading syndicate is where I teach and trade all day. You'll get direct access to me and other pros. We collaborate on trades. All your questions get answered. And it doesn't matter whether, you're a larger trader looking for a better edge. Like I have one of the guys in my coaching class who's, in the last 3-4 months, he's made over $400,000 with very few negative days. And the average is around 4 to 5 grand a day. And then we have people who are just starting out, right? It's about 50 cents a day, month to month. You can cancel anytime if you don't like it. And you can learn how to get fully funded to trade with other people's money. Like our friends at Apex, their discount code is also in the description. The other thing that we do teach you is how not to trade at the wrong time and chew through all your funds. That's always something that I'm always interested in, is keeping people away from trading when there's really nothing going on. Yeah, it's funny, Sadiq. I was actually looking. I was on a call before our opening call, and I was showing somebody the compressed view of all that inventory. And you can see we just came right into it and poked ourselves out of it. So, gosh. Okay, come on. Let's poke at this thing with the stick and see if we can get it to do something. Oh, goodness. So we have sellers at 68.5. Now let's go test the lower bids and see where they stop selling. I don't know. I'm looking at that move from the second, and I'm thinking I'm really short biased still. But if we can't get underneath 59.60 and stay underneath it, then my short bias has to go away, right? So every time we come down here, we catch bids, right? Catch a bid, catch a bid, catch a bid. Just got to be patient and wait. As much as you guys hate that word patience, don't get sucked into the chop. Does anyone have any questions? This morning on the early call, we looked at some stocks, we looked at some deals. This is a good time to go get something to eat. Right, while we build out that B profile. Well, RK, there you go. You can go get your cake now. Look at that. As soon as I said shorting it under 60, look at all the bids that came in at 62, 3, 4. Woo! Have fun playing tennis, Leslie. Enjoy. That's what summer's all about, right? We're supposed to be enjoying the summer, not being a slave to the screen. That's what one thing I really like about retail trading. You know, when you had clients, you never left the screen. This way you can just leave and come back. Back inside the overnight range. There we go. There's that move. Did I take it? No, I did not. See, all of this chop put me to sleep. Now let's see, Sadiq, where the sellers step in, right? Hey, Taco, what's going on? The close. Sellers stepped in at the close. Now, let's see if we can hold that previous day low, long a little 74, and see if it can go take out the 76s, right? And if it can't, just get out of it. Your stop will be under 73. Make sure you're offered. If it loses that 74 bid, then you know the trade's not going to work. There you go. Right, 75 and a quarter. Right, out at 76. Just a couple of points on 3. Right. And if you have more, sell them. Right. Alrighty, folks. There we go. Nice rotation, right? We built up that inventory, and that's that. We didn't even have a chance to get a B profile, Chris. There you go. Nice. Yeah, we've cleared out a lot of inventory under 6,000. Eh? Where is VWAP now? I gotta go redo VWAP. Hang on a sec. 79 and change. Oh, it's right there. That's where we hit right there. Now we'll backfill this move a little bit. See if it holds 73. Rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it for me today, folks. Apologies, it's my first day back, so a little rusty, but I'll work on that as we get into the month. We've got some good stuff that I've been working on quietly. Um, Swing trading using these methods for equities as well. So I'll be debuting that in the room over the next couple of weeks as I work on it. And thanks for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Trade safe, trade smart, and come visit us at the Trading Syndicate. And if you do join, give me a DM. I'd love to talk to you. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.